What's up, friends? Today we're checking out Test Me by Chanmina. We're looking at this song from the perspective of a singer, songwriter, producer, rapper, someone who just made a hip-hop remix of Idol by Yoasobi, a different song used in Oshi No Ko. We're looking at the full version of Test Me by Chanmina. It is the season 3 opener of Oshi No Ko. Expect pauses as we go over some specific elements of the song that I think are cool. I really like how the keys and guitars blend together, and then how you have this distorted, filtered version of her vocal and that part too, to kind of intro the vocal but not have it come in full blast. Also really like the chord progression that they're using here, has a nice jazzy feel, going for that kind of cabaret vibe with the music video as well, which also works to the advantage of the show, which is about show business, and, you know, having a kind of dark, smoky cabaret fits that vibe a lot. I think it's really interesting, the vocals she chose to use in this first part of the verse, this really kind of growly, rocky voice in this first part, where we have a lot of the energy dropped away from the instrumentation. The drums kind of chill out quite a bit, and we are really focused in on that bass line. And then more of the instrumentation comes in. It makes a little bit more sense, but it's kind of the stark contrast that's really interesting. Going into this pre-chorus, something I'm liking just off that little bit we've heard is how much she changes her vocal style and goes for a lot more clean sounding vocal, a little less rockish. I like choruses where everything pairs together, and that helps to define the catchiness of the chorus. It's something I've started to realize more and more, is how the instrumentation and the arrangement can enhance the catchiness of a section. And you see that full on display with this chorus, with the Test Me coming out at kind of this full blast with these horns, and then this cool guitar lick right after, and how those horns, guitar, and vocals all pair together is just so great. We tried to go for the same thing with our song New King, where we had the percussion and the vibes of the track really fit in with how we developed our chorus. Here's a little example of that.
I'm not like you and I don't wanna be true followers or recognize a new king. I'm not like you.
Okay, getting back to this song. I think it's really interesting what they went for with the second verse, because I feel like we've already established kind of the power from the first verse and from the chorus. And so going back into this kind of whispered, cutesy tone is really distinct. I almost wish this was in the first verse, but, you know, I'm kind of conflicted. I see the value in both. I see the value of kind of dropping it back a little bit, but we're going to get that drop back anyway in the pre-chorus, but the pre-chorus does have those vocal layers. So it's kind of an interesting thing. It's to decide kind of where to put these things and when to put the certain emphasis of different vocal styles. I really think it's interesting how much that pre-chorus builds into the chorus. You know, first time I didn't notice it as much, but she really ups the intensity as she goes throughout that pre-chorus until she gets to that full, gritty sounding vocal that she uses in the chorus. That whispered vocal kind of distracts me from the sax solo a little bit. I like a good sax solo, so I almost wish that was toned down a little bit or just like not there. I mean, I guess it is kind of in that pop realm, and so you expect to have a little bit more vocals nowadays. You don't really want too many moments without any vocals whatsoever. Maybe just like a little bit less involved, just because that sax solo was sounding sick. I think it's really interesting seeing this more stripped down version of the chorus with still her vocals going full out and really sending it, where you just have that bass and then these claps. I think what it does is it really emphasizes how much the arrangement helps enhance the catchiness of the chorus and also solidifies the melody from the vocal on its own as being great, you know? And it also adds a nice little change up in energy, which is fun. I also think it's really fun that we have this kind of idea for these lyrics, these kind of, oh, you haven't seen this bad side of me type of vibe, because that's very much what we have the character Ruby going through into this third season, where she's kind of getting into her more revenge arc, her little like, I'm a little bit pissed off. And I think that's cool how that's reflected in the verses of the song, how it's reflected in the overall vibe of the song, the aggression in this song. Like, you're putting on a show, but at the same time there's this rock inside of you, there's this intensity, this anger, which is just cool. I like how that's kind of reflected there. Okay, those are my thoughts on Test Me by Chanmina. Thanks so much for checking this out. I hope it helped you to verbalize a few of your feelings toward this song. If that's the case, I'd really appreciate if you like, comment, share, subscribe. And if you would check out the remix I did to Idol by Yoasobi, that's right here. Thanks so much. Catch you on the flip.
この価値何のため望んでいる完璧な勝利俺たち目指している So get out of my sight So we out here taking flight そう全てこの心にかけてる Pride さあ早く get on the flow The fans be begging for more 完璧な笑顔で向き合わ